And a good evening to everyone. Yes, you read the title correctly. I bought a new truck. But that was about 8 to 9 months ago, and I just didn't have time to make this video, but I think it's time now to share with you guys the new truck that I bought. Before we dive into the truck, I just want to quickly remember the Civic that I traded in. I absolutely love driving this thing. It wasn't a SI or a Type R, it was a 2012 Honda Civic LX, but it was still a 5-speed manual. And this was the last time I was able to do this to the shifter in neutral. And I'm sure all manual drivers love doing this, especially at the stop sign. But even though I love this car, there were a few things that were going wrong with it. And as you can see, rust was one of those things. There was rust in every corner of this car, especially the rocker panel. And the main reason for this was because of the accident. Oh yeah, I got into a big accident with this car right after I bought it. I think it was in the first 4 or 5 days. It was a huge mess. I had so much shit with the insurance. It's a long story. If you guys want to hear about it, I'll create another video. But yeah, the dealership took in the Civic. They gave me $4,000 for it. There was a lot of issues with it that I just didn't want to deal with. And I told them everything that was wrong with it, so they're gonna handle that. They're gonna fix it for the next owner. And they also let me keep the winter tires, so that's a few $100 more in my pocket once I get to sell those tires. Before I review my truck, I just want to let you guys know and be very clear about it. Yes, it's a real truck. I know there's a lot of hate about this specific truck, mainly because it's a unibody. Let me know in the comments if you're able to guess what truck that is. But yes, it is a real truck. So in front of me is the pre-purchase inspection report. So there was a few things that had to be done on the truck before I could pick it up. The brakes had to be done. The car needed rust proofing, which I will take care of later, which I actually did. The previous owner had studded tires on the truck, but in South Ontario, we're not allowed having those tires. So the dealership took care of that. And there was the engine light that was on, and the reason for that was one of the sensors went bad. So again, the dealership took care of that as well. And this inspection set me back $150. At the dealership, so I'm gonna go see the car right now. I don't see it outside, it's probably inside. So we're gonna go check up everything. We still have a few dots to sign, and then I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I'm picking up today. Yeah, so they have a tradition where when you're about to pick up your vehicle, you ring that bell. If you haven't guessed it already, I bought the Honda Ridgeline 2nd generation, 2017 to be exact. Let me quickly explain to you guys what a unibody truck is. So for normal cars, SUVs, minivans, what they do is they manufacture the body and the frame in one piece, and that's what they call unibody. But whereas trucks, they have the body and the frame manufactured separately, and then they mount it together after. The biggest advantage I would say with the body on frame trucks is number one, they have a higher towing capacity. Number two, they're better for off-roading. And number three, if you ever damage the truck or you get into an accident, it's actually easier and cheaper to repair a body on frame truck. But for my personal needs, and I would say for most people, a Honda Ridgeline is more than enough. Plus, with the unibody construction, it actually drives like just a big SUV. But anyways, that's the main reason for the hate behind Honda Ridgelines. But it's still a real truck. So I put about 10,000 kilometers on the truck to date, and so far I had no issues. And in the past couple of months, I actually did a few things to the truck. Number one was the PPF. I got the PPF done right away for the front bumper and part of the hood. I do plan on using this truck to do a lot of fishing, and if you know about fishing spots, they're plagued with rocks, and the main reason for rock chips. The PPF set me back $1,322.21, but I definitely think it's worth it. The second thing I did to the truck was the rust proofing. The weather in Canada is absolutely horrible. We get harsh winters and there's salt all over the streets. And if I don't rust proof the truck, it's gonna end up just like my Civic, rust all over. And the rust proofing cost me $170. So I'd mentioned that the dealership had swapped the studded tires. And what they gave me was a set of all-season tires, which is fine, but for winter, I prefer winter tires. So I bought myself a brand new set of winter tires, and I reused the mags that are currently on and the sensors. So what my plan is, when spring hits, I'm gonna buy myself a set of brand new sensors and new mags for the Ridgeline, and that way I could just keep swapping back tires instead of removing mags and sensors every time. And if I remember correctly, the installation and the tires cost me a total of $680. And finally comes the big service. So this week I actually serviced the truck. This consisted of the engine oil change, the transmission flush, and since I have the all-wheel drive model, in the rear I also have the transfer case fluid to change, and I also got the brake service, and they did a bunch of inspections on the truck, and that totaled to $699.46. Yep, so that was the big purchase of the year. I do want to do other things to the truck. I'm not exactly sure what yet. Add a lift kit, put all-terrain tires, add a brush guard. I don't know yet. But what I do know is that there's a long list of adventures waiting for us with this truck up ahead and more content for you guys to enjoy. So if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comment section below. If you watched up until now, thank you for sticking around. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. And if you want to see what I do with my Honda Ridgeline, subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.